Hello everyone. Today we are discussing Anton Pillar Orders under new forms of injunction. The name Anton Pillar Order itself originated in UK in a case with same name. This injunction is granted to restrain infringement of intellectual property rights. Here, the permission is granted to plaintiff's solicitor to enter into defendant premises without any prior notice in order to inspect and if required remove documents or materials which infringes the rights of the plaintiff. Anten-Pillar orders are also known as evidence preservation orders. These are ex parte orders passed without the knowledge of the defendant in order to prevent destruction of evidence. It covers both inspection and removal of documents and properties. These orders are similar to civil search warrant, but one condition is added that it should be with the consent of the defendant. In case the defendant refuses to allow entry of the plaintiff solicitor, it may result in contempt of court. Since Anton-Pillar orders can have a serious impact on the defendant, there are certain conditions that need to be met for issue of such orders. First, plaintiff must make out an extremely strong prima facie case against the defendant. Second, there should be sufficient material on record to show severity of potential damage to the plaintiff if such order is not granted. Third, there should be clear evidence that defendant can destroy the material in case they are given intimation of such case beforehand. Certain rights along with corresponding obligation of the plaintiff. First, plaintiff has the right to enter premises of the defendant. Second, he can search for the incriminating materials and document in the defendant premises. Third, he has the right to remove these articles for safekeeping purpose, with an undertaking that once the initial purpose is done, these will be returned to the defendant. Further, there are certain rights and obligation of defendant also. First, right of entry of plaintiff and seizing of document is subject to the free consent of the defendant. However, if the defendant refuses to allow the plaintiff to enter, it may result in contempt of court. Second, defendant has the right to take effective legal advice. Therefore, these orders should be permitted to be executed only on the working days when a solicitor can be expected to be available. Third, on successful discharge of the case, defendant, as a matter of right, is entitled to claim compensation based on the undertaking given by the plaintiff. Now we discuss about the applicability of Anton Pillar Order in Indian legal system. Anton Pillar Order is primarily used in protection of intellectual property rights. In India, Order 39 of the Civil Procedure Code authorizes the court to issue such orders. However, with respect to the protection of intellectual property rights, India has a considerable number of statutes to deal with such issues. Anton Pillar Order can be passed under Copyright Act 1957, Trademarks Act 1999, the Patents Act 1970, which was amended in 2005 also, Design Act 2000, the Geographical Indication of Goods Act 1999, and many more acts. These acts provides for the rights available to the intellectual property owner along with a sound mechanism to prevent infringement of IPRs. With Anton Pillar orders, there is a possibility of abuse. as it can destroy defendants' business and reputation. Therefore, certain safeguards need to be exercised, like there should be availability of reasonable and credible evidence, and asking the plaintiff to deposit fees in court to compensate the defendant if incriminating document is not found. About Anton Pillar orders. This series would be continued further to explain important aspects of injunction. This would be helpful to all the individuals, including professional in legal fields. Do continue to watch our series and share your feedback by way of comment. Found helpful? Please like and share as much as possible and subscribe.